What do you think about Khabib and what I said earlier about making sure that he puts himself in position where the weight is not going to be a question? Because I don't know if he weighed 54 for the last one, but it really didn't seem to be in question. And again, just standing next to him, I feel like he's made some decisions to make sure that this is something he has nipped in the bud. I'm not saying it's going to cost him necessarily in the first minute of the fight against Conor McGregor, but when I mentioned it to his guy, Daniel Cormier, he didn't dismiss it as a factor. I just want to get your thoughts on that particular observation I had a couple weeks ago there in Calgary.
Well, it is certainly something different, right? So I think the last fight he kind of came in a little bit lighter too.
Yes.
And I think it was a good decision. So, if he gets too excited, I remember in my fight against BJ Penn, I was training like an animal. I started way too early and I peaked too early. I felt like crap. And it was not a good situation. So I think for Khabib, I don't think he's going to get rattled by Conor McGregor necessarily, but he is very motivated to smash Conor McGregor. And sometimes you can get a little too excited. I don't think that's going to be the case, though. I think he's coming in leaner because he knows how important this fight is. He realizes that, yes, he has missed weight before. He does not want to be that guy again. So he's coming in lighter. And I think it suited him well in that last fight. I don't think it's going to be a case where he's cutting weight, he's coming in a little bit lighter, he cuts weight maybe a little bit earlier, and now he's weakened by that. I don't think that's going to be the case with Khabib Nurmagomedov.
The Darren Till Woodley fight, Kamaru Usman is actually preparing. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, Kamaru Usman, apparently, Kamaru Usman to be flown out to Dallas as a potential replacement for Darren Till. He's submitted medicals, so he's going to have full clearance. And I guess this is Brett Okamoto, ESPN. Per his management, Usman will in fact submit medicals and weigh in during fight week in the event something happens to either Till or Woodley before UFC 228. Now, I'm assuming if something happens to Woodley, that would be Till versus Usman for an interim fight. And of course, unfortunately, if Till doesn't make weight, which of course he didn't last time, if Till doesn't make weight or Till has to withdraw due to injury, then Kamaru Usman will step in. And Usman tweeted, "Just a deep feeling in my soul. September 8th, I will be the new welterweight champion of the world." I think that's wishful thinking, buddy. I think Woodley's proven time and time again he's not a pull-out merchant. And Darren Till missed weight last time. It'd be amazing for him to do that twice in a row, especially with a title fight on his hands.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, good for him. It's nice that the UFC is having a little bit of foresight and has a plan in place if something does happen. I think they should always have sort of like a what do they call it in like theater? They call it an understudy, right? They should always have like somebody ready to go if somebody gets injured, because it does happen a lot, and we've seen fight cards really fall apart because of it. So
someone was saying that recently they should always have as you say, an understudy, a replacement, an alternative just in case. And I'm not with that at all, because if it's a title fight between two people that certainly deserve it, and it's a number one contender, then that's different. And then also, as you know now, Lewis, getting ready for a mixed martial arts fight is incredibly hard. It's a lot of sacrifice. Are you saying that the person that's maybe a 1% chance that the other guys fall out or don't make weight, he gets to fight, do you think he's really going to push himself as hard as someone had that signed the contract for the fight?
Well, what if it was like this, right? And this is literally just talking out of my ass. I have no emotional connection to this idea at all, and I have put no thought into this, so I'm sure you're going to torch this. But what about even just having guys that are paid to be in shape, or maybe even like let's just say, because they do this usually, right? Let's say it's a 170-pound fighter on the undercard, and somebody gets injured. They say, all right, we'll give this guy the fight. He's already in shape. He's fighting, and then I guess the other guy kind of gets screwed, right? So the other guy will get the bigger fight. But what if it's like almost in the contract that if this, if somebody were to get injured, this is the dude that was going to step up. So there's always almost like a fail safe just in case it happens. It just happens a lot.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, yeah, I guess it's good for the UFC.
What about a guy that is being paid to train and fight, right? Even if he doesn't have a fight, pay him a little bit.
If you still think there's now let's remember the odds of them fighting are slim, right? If there's still a good chance that you're not going to fight, they're not going to push themselves. They're not going to make those sacrifices. They're not going to do those extra rounds of sparring because they think more than likely I'm not going to get chose to fight, and I'm just preparing for a little payday just on the off chance.
God, I'd love to find out what deal McGregor did with the UFC to come back. Because you know this stuff. You're the biggest skate of all time, and you know this one's gonna be huge.
Yeah.
There's no way he's playing the same. There's no way he's in the same lane as he was when he fought Eddie Alvarez.
No.
The amount of money he's making on this one, I'd be dying to know. And it's been tough to find out because they give us what the also this is one of the reasons in Vegas. We'll find out what the commission tells us, but it'd be so interesting to see. Did they give him stock in the company? What'd they do? Is it a flat fee? Because he's not fighting like, $1 million win, million to show. That ain't happening.
After $100 million.
No, he's getting a flat fee now.
Yeah.
And I wonder what it is. Is it 20 million? Is it 30 million? Whatever the highest paid is, and it's McGregor, you got to imagine triple that, double that, at least. Coming off the Mayweather hype, coming off as big as a star he is now, the state of where the UFC's at now, like you're looking at some major fucking buku dollars. And he deserves it. Look what he's doing.
He had, for the UFC 205, $3.5 million to show.
And 50,000. So he got 4 so 3.5. So he made basically 4 million, including the Reebok sponsorship, right? Mm-hmm. Well, 3.6 million. Oh, I see. They didn't include that. So he made, basically 3.6 million. God, $40,000 for Reebok sponsorship. Greatest deal ever for Reebok. Ever. Think about it. And this isn't on a knock on anyone, but for the price of Conor McGregor, you pay the same price for Eddie Alvarez and Woodley.